Hey, how's it going? Hope you've been well. My name's Mike. Today, we're doing kind of a budget overlanding car camping type video. I forgot to film the intro before, so I've actually already done the whole video, and now I'm doing the intro. So basically this video, I'm gonna go to Walmart with the intention to spend about $150 to buy everything that I need to go car camping. And so that is assuming like I don't even have a chair, I'm gonna buy a pillow, all the food, stove, tent, everything you need starting from scratch for 150 bucks. And then I'm even filming the entire video just on my phone. I'm not using my nice microphones and my nice cameras and my drones and my GoPros. Granted, this video is not gonna be a super exciting video like my Weekender Lander videos. Are a little more exciting, I guess. This is gonna be more showing the gear in use, giving some thoughts on it, giving some feedback, and yeah, just kind of to help those of you that maybe can't afford the super high-end stuff, to help show you that you can still go on a fun trip for only 150 starting from scratch. Most of the gear that I'm gonna get is not just single use. Basically the food, you're gonna eat it and that's gonna be single use, but everything else you can use for trips and trips and trips. So $150 is the upfront expense to get everything, and then to go on your second trip, you only need to buy food, and then you got everything else all set up for the trip. So it's not just like $150 each time, it's $150 the first time, and then yeah. I'm doing all this in my Subaru Forester. My Tacoma's in the shop getting some work done. I'm actually having a meetup. So once my truck is done, I'm gonna kind of have like a, I don't know, just a meetup that shows like the work that was done on my truck. At that meetup, which is gonna be the week, I believe the week that I drop this video, hopefully, roughly within a week of when I drop this video, I'm gonna give away everything that I bought. So the first person that comes to me and they say, hey, I could really use that camping gear. Either I just don't have the money right now or whatever. I wanna take my family camping, but I just can't really afford it. So that gear would really help me. The first person that comes to me and asks me for it is gonna get it. So I'm not gonna do a raffle or anything. Just come up to me, you can be private about it, whatever, and just say, I could really use that gear. I'll give it to you, everything in the video, aside from the food that I already ate, but everything else. This video, I've been wanting to make it for a while because my channel is a gear review channel. I review gear, a lot of that gear is high end. I've reviewed multi-$1,000 rooftop tents, things like that, things of that nature. So one of the comments I get quite a bit is, I'd love to get into overlanding, I'd love to take my family camping, but I just can't afford it. And I get that, times are tough or whatever, but it doesn't take that much money to actually go. This is all brand new gear. You could get gear even cheaper if you're cruising for used stuff, if you're waiting and shopping sales and things like that. I got all this stuff at Walmart. I'm gonna put down below a link to, I'll create like a shopping list on Amazon that has kind of comparably priced gear. If you don't want to go to Walmart, if you just want to order it online. So you can check that, and I'll try and kind of, it won't be the exact same stuff obviously, but I'll try and put kind of similar stuff into an Amazon shopping list, and that way you could look at the list or whatever and take that to Walmart and be like, I need to buy equivalent items of this at Walmart or the dollar store or some discount store. There's a lot of cheap ways to get gear. But yeah, this channel's not gonna turn into like a budget channel really. I still like nice gear. I like testing nice gear. I like using nice gear. And nice gear is nicer, no doubt. I'm not saying this $150 overlanding kit is gonna last you a lifetime or that it's gonna replace your more expensive items. I just want to show that you can do it. You can get everything you really need for relatively cheap, so there's no excuses not to get out there and enjoy the beautiful world we live in. And full disclosure, this isn't a real trip. Kind of the reason I'm doing it is because my dog, quick update for those of you that are fans of the channel, my dog Atreyu tore his CCL real bad. He needed surgery. I got him TPLO surgery. For those that know about the surgery or have got it, know that you can't really do much with your dog for like 2 months or more. That surgery was about 2 weeks ago. He just got his staples out. So he's moving around pretty good, but they don't want you to let them move around much. So I asked about off-roading. They said no, it'll be too much strain on his legs trying to support himself and stuff. So this isn't a real camping trip. I'm camping in my yard just because my dog mobility issues kind of force me to do that. Having said that, there's no reason that any of this stuff won't work on a real camping trip. I'm just showing it in my yard because my dog. So I don't want you to call me out on, that's not even a real camping trip. I know, but it's because of my dog. If you are into real camping trips, I have a series called Weekenderlander that kind of highlights my real setup, my Tacoma and all my gear, and just the trips, the Weekenderlander trips that I do. That's a term I kind of made up to make fun of the overland community a little bit, even though I love the overland community, and just to show that you can still get out and have a lot of fun if all you have is a weekend at your disposal. I work a normal 9 to 5, so my trips are typically Friday night, Saturday night, Friday or Saturday night, and I still have a lot of fun. So that series is kind of geared towards the normal people that can't take multiple weeks or months off a year to travel the world and do more serious overlanding, that you can still have a really good time just on the weekends. So check that series out if you're into it. And without further ado, let's head over to Walmart and kind of pick out our stuff. OD. This is the stuff, it's pretty cheap, that I actually like and use myself, but it's gonna put us a little over budget, but I like these. Here's a really cheap option. It actually comes with quite a bit of stuff. $148.21. Twister buddy. All right, so here we are, this beautiful camp spot. It's actually not, it's just my house. Ignore all that junk. I tore down a room. The reason I'm just here is because Atreyu had his surgery. So there it is, his staples just got removed yesterday. But it means I can't go wheeling and I can't take him off-road. So I thought it was a good time just to do this video. I've been wanting to do it for a while. So I'm gonna start setting up here. So that way I can kind of camp, but I can do it with my dog. All right, so here it is, seam tape rain fly. So a lot of these cheap tents don't have rain flies, but this one does. So you'll be good, you know, probably not in a crazy downpour, but at least can handle a little bit of rain. So let's get this thing set up. So here it is, your pretty basic 2-pole setup. I didn't look at the instructions, but all these kinds are pretty much the same. Then just some tent spikes around the corners. They are the cheap kind, they'll probably bend and break. But if you're careful putting them in, you'll probably be fine. Tent poles obviously aren't the highest quality, but your standard goes through here, then hooks up here. You know, it's got a little bit of reinforcement and stuff. Looks like there's some little things inside to hang your lanterns or whatever. And breathable. If it's not gonna rain and it's warm weather, this would be a great warm weather tent. I actually like the colors. Nice coloring. Little port here, little hole to run an extension cord in, I guess, and keep it weatherproof. Then the only other thing will be the rain fly will go on top. It's over there. And then the third pole looks like it'll attach from here over the top, and then that'll give kind of a little awning on the tent. So yeah, that's the tent. This is the chair. Pretty basic. Basic $5 chair, but it's got a cup holder, which is nice. And it'll work. You know, not the most comfortable chair in the world, but ain't bad either. The tent also has this thing with these hooks. They call it a tablet pocket. So it's clear, and I guess it's so you can put your tablet in and then hang it above you and then watch a movie, which I like that. I actually do that in my rooftop tent. So that's kind of a cool little addition for like the cheapest tent you can buy. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of impressed by this little tent. Not bad. Granted, you know, I don't know how it'll hold up in crazy conditions, but I don't know. Seems better than I thought it would be. All right, so here the rain flies on. Little bar in here to give it kind of a little bit of an awning, but not much. Now I'm gonna put that in there, pump it up with that. A little bit of glamping still for $150. So this is the queen size in here. Fills this tent up nicely, actually. Guessing once it's pumped up, you'll have about 1.5 feet of room on the side. And it'll go pretty much to the edge, I think. So we're gonna pump it up now. The tent also has some nice little storage over there. That's cool. Whew. Not gonna lie, that was a lot of work. So this thing was like 10 bucks. They do have electric ones that were around 10 bucks, maybe 15 bucks, which I just didn't want to get because I didn't know if you're hiking in, if you have electricity or not. So to keep it fair, I got the hand pump one. But a little tiring. Also, quick note, depending on how high your tent is, and this isn't an especially tall tent, they do have a little more expensive ones. They cost more, but they're thicker, like twice as thick, which sounds good, but honestly I found a thicker one isn't that much more comfortable really, and then you lose quite a bit of headroom, so to speak, if you go with a thicker one. So these are a little cheaper, they're a little smaller, a little lighter, a little easier to pump up, and you get to keep most of your headroom. This is a cheap one, but it's not a mummy bag, which is nice for car camping. Mummy bags are a little smaller and a little warmer, but I like the rectangle ones for car camping. And it's relatively compact. That's because it's a warm weather bag. So a cold weather bag will need more insulation and therefore will be thicker and it'll be heavier. It's actually pretty nice because it fully unzips to where you can use it as a blanket or kind of like a mattress pad. And honestly, if you don't want a sleeping bag, you can just bring your blankets from home. I would probably opt for that or a quilt or something, just because it's super comfortable and you're car camping. So depending on the weather and what you have, you might as well just bring blankets from home. But this is another option. You can see the sleeping bag unfolded is larger than the queen size mattress. So you could really get 2 of these. They're so cheap. And they're, I mean, it's relatively thick. I think it'd keep you warm pretty well. Get 2 of these, one for the bottom to put a little bit of extra soft padding, and then one for the top to use as a blanket. And then I bought a cheap pillow, just because you're car camping. Bring a pillow car camping if you have room for it. We're not roughing it, we're not backpacking, just bring a pillow. This was like 3 bucks, I think. Obviously, I just bought this because I was there and I wanted to buy everything just to show that you could buy everything. Just bring your pillow from home. You probably have a pillow you like, just bring it. But for the sake of the video, I got this. I opted for this one. It's a little bigger. It's a little more stable. Actually, I have a stove like this that I actually like to use myself, but the only difference is, well, it's a different brand. It's cheap though on Amazon. It's like 25 bucks, I think, or 35 maybe. But it's dual fuel, so you can use butane or propane. Propane's a little bit better for cold weather. This one just uses butane. The butane cans are a little smaller, which is nice, but they just don't work as well in super cold weather. You pop these cans open, they'll have a little notch in the top, which will line up here. So that little notch goes right in there. Sorry, I'm trying to do all this kind of one-handed. And then this guy will pop down and it'll pull the can in. And you'll want to close that. And this, I hope, has a piezo ignition. Yep. And now we got heat. This looks like a relatively low BTU unit, though. Let's see what it is. 7650. Not horrible. Anyway, this is it. And so I bought this little cook set. It's definitely not something you'll pass down to your children or anything, but big enough to cook some hot dogs or other stuff. It's got a little bowl, little pan, little cup. But yeah, you can just use a pan from home, honestly. If you have a pan from home, just bring that. Cook on it. They have other fold ones, and they have a lot of other ones that are better than this. Cast iron stuff for people that are into the cast iron, or non-stick stuff, honestly, I like just because it's easy to clean. But this is what I got, just because it provides a variety of things and was relatively cheap, obviously. And then I bought this cup, which was like $4, I think. So you can cook. You can put this cup right on there and cook. But you can also use it as a cup. I'm gonna make some hot chocolate. And I'm probably gonna go ahead and cook the water, boil the water up in this cup. So those are my cooking things. Again, you can bring spatulas or whatever from home if you want. I went ahead and got these. They were like less than $1 for these. So that's what I'm gonna cook with. And then I got my hot dogs out. I got a bigger cooler. You can get a cheaper cooler than this, but this one was a nice height to put the stove on while I'm cooking. So it's dual purpose. I like dual purpose things. So we have a cooler, obviously, is a cooler. Put your ice and whatever in there, your hot dogs. And it functions as a table. It's a little bit small, kind of this leg's hanging off here, but it'll do. All right, so initial impressions are, this pan's pretty garbage, but it'll do. It'll do. I would opt for not getting this kit, honestly, and just getting a pan. You can get a relatively cheap pan, just a regular fry pan, and it'll serve you better. Because I don't think I'll use any of the other little things that came with it. But these are my favorite hot dog buns, if you're wondering. Sweet Hawaiian. We're cooking these up. Also, I did buy this stick, which you could cook hot dogs on this, obviously, if you have a fire. But I wanted to do everything without fire. A lot of times there's fire bans. Maybe you just can't make a fire. But you don't really need any of this stuff if you just want to cook over the fire. You don't even need this if you just want to use a stick. But I wanted to. I could cook these hot dogs a little nicer over the fire, but we'll just do them here. The bummer is I forgot ketchup. And while I could go run inside, honestly, because I'm doing this, because Atreyu is basically a gimp, I will just eat it. I'll just suffer through it. So what I usually do for ketchup, honestly, sorry, the camera's over here. What I usually do for ketchup is I will go to the store or McDonald's or whatever and just get individual packets of ketchup. Honestly, I'm looking forward to the M&M chocolate s'mores. All right, that's pretty much cooked to perfection. Yeah. Oh yeah. Good morning. I slept all right. It was a little cold, so I actually just slept in my clothes, but I do that camping a fair bit. Anyway, I've been up for a little bit. I thought I should show you the tent, kind of tell you how it went. It was good. This tent's not a cold weather tent. It didn't get super cold last night, but it was in the 30s, I believe. And this tent has a lot of ventilation. So even with the rain fly on, it has a lot of ventilation. So it's more of I would say it's more of a warm weather tent, which is what could be expected for 25 bucks, I think. Sorry, again, I'm filming this on my cell phone, so I'm used to looking into the lens of my camera, but this, I want to look at the screen because I don't really see a lens. This has like a nice little storage over here, so well, I didn't talk about it, but when I go camping, I just bring my toothbrush from home. So I didn't include that in the shopping list. Just bring your toothbrush from home or get one for free from the dentist, but I just bring my normal toothbrush from home. It has this little pocket. It's kind of nice, but you can kind of see it does kind of come out into the tent a little bit. So it's nice that there's pockets to put stuff, but it does invade your space invader a little bit. This headlamp is a piece of junk. I think it would break pretty easy, but the light output doesn't look like much now, but at night was actually plenty. So
The headlamp I thought was gonna be horrible, and it wasn't that bad. I mean, for $1, it was really good, but if you took care of it, I think, you know, and didn't accidentally step on it, then it would probably, guessing it would last for a little while. So the main difference in expensive gear, like the gear that I usually use, and cheap gear, for like a flashlight, yes, is output, but also just durability. The main thing is durability. You know, the headlamps I use, I can run over with a car maybe, I don't know, depending on the ground, and beat up, and they'll keep going. This thing, if I dropped it too high, I bet it would break. I take a variety of guns camping. Usually, this is just my EDC carry gun that I just always have on me, so I always have it when I'm camping. So that's my Glock 19. I'm gonna do a video on camping security, that kind of stuff, at some point in the future. Oh, let's show this. So this is I didn't actually bring a tablet to use, but this is how this works and sets up. And this was actually surprisingly nice. So it has 3 modes: bright, dimmer, and then red. It has a red mode, but it doesn't seem as bright as my other lanterns and stuff that have a red mode. So it has a red mode, but I think it's maybe a little more of a gimmick than anything. But for $4 or whatever, it's actually, I mean, works nice up there. I'm not sleeping on the ground, so I think this air mattress held, I mean, maybe all of its air, at least most of its air. This sleeping bag, like I said earlier, for $8, it's not bad, but it's not gonna keep you super warm since it's the warm weather one. All right, I brought some oatmeal for breakfast. So I think that just requires heating up water. So I'm gonna heat up some water, and I think I got some hot chocolate too. So I'll make some hot chocolate. I don't drink coffee normally, so I didn't bring coffee, but if you do drink coffee, then there's a variety of, you could bring some instant coffee, which I know a lot of like true coffee people don't like, but you could also bring like a little pour over or something with you if you want, because you can heat the water obviously and then just do your pour over. So if you do pour overs, you could just bring the same stuff you use at home, or a little French press or something. Probably not gonna bring like your Keurig or your coffee pot though. All right, get started with my day. All right, so I'm gonna cook up some breakfast and kind of just talk about it a little bit. So you can bring whatever you want for breakfast, obviously. A lot of times I kind of bring breakfast burrito type food, but this morning I'm just keeping it simple. I do get these from time to time. They're nice because they're self-contained, pretty good usually, and then you just pour hot water in them and you can use them as a cup, so you're not making any more dirty dishes. I put a Treyu inside because his legs seem to have been hurting him. I always like chocolate milk. That's just kind of what I do. This thing, yeah, I don't think it's very good at all. Oh yeah, so the other thing is, you need to do your business. You have to dig a hole, and then you want to get biodegradable wipes. These ones were in the camping section, and they do say they're plant fiber based, but I haven't read the whole back, but they don't say like biodegradable in big letters anywhere. I'm guessing they are, but you'll want to get biodegradable wipes if you're gonna bury them. But I use these also just to wash my hands and stuff, so to wipe my hands down. And then I'll make some hot chocolate in my cup, and I'm just using the water I bought. Water does boil faster with a lid, so I may try and find, maybe I'll put, so while the water's getting up to a boil, I wanted to show the first aid kit real quick. This isn't gonna treat any serious traumas. It's actually just, I just wanted to get it to show it. It's good to know a little bit of first aid, how to treat some common kind of wounds, some things that you might encounter out in the wild, and good to have gear with you. So there are way better kits than this. I link some kits that I like actually. Adventure Medical makes a few like ones that are kind of still for minor wounds. But it's good to get training, and it's good to have some medical equipment with you. It's kind of an often overlooked part of camping and being outdoors. I've been thinking about doing a video, kind of an updated video on medical stuff. So if you'd like to see that, let me know. But anyways, this little guy will, you know, it's got some band-aids and stuff, but good to bring along some medical equipment. Also, like ibuprofen, if you're prone to headaches or anything like that, good to bring. And then also what you could bring is, I bring sometimes, and this is maybe controversial, but like sleeping pills. I don't normally take them at home, but I don't sleep as well when I'm out camping, so I'll usually take a sleeping pill when I'm camping. All right, sorry, I have like planes flying, like circling overhead or something for some reason. I shut this off when it was boiling over. So since we're car camping, if it makes sense to hang out in your car also and eat your food to escape the wind, you can do it. There's no rules. You can hang out in your car when you're car camping if you want. Granted, usually it'll be prettier outside, which is the main reason you went camping, but do what's comfortable for you. All right, we are all loaded back up. This is actually going to be the thumbnail for the video. And it's pretty windy out here, so I'm going to drive back up to my garage and film my final thoughts. Okay guys, so we are back. It was fun little trip. So some things that I would do differently probably is I probably wouldn't bother for plastic utensils. I've used them in the past. These ones were cheap, they're like $1, but they melted. Like I'll use my utensils quite a bit when I'm cooking food, and I melted my fork pretty easily. So I would just take some metal silverware from home, or eventually, you know, you could buy some metal silverware, and that'll just last you a lot longer, and just you won't have to worry about it melting and stuff like that. So I'd probably skip the kind of plastic camping silverware and just go for metal stuff, whether that be just grabbing it out of your drawer at home or purchasing some metal stuff. The pot and pan set I got, the really cheap one, it's pretty much garbage. I would pass on that. And again, just bring a pot or a pan from home. There's a lot of stuff you can cook that just requires heating up water, in which you could use the cup. Or the gear that I really like are just these Stanley ones that are relatively cheap too, and they'll be linked down in the video description below. So I'd probably pass on that. The sleeping bag, mainly the stuff sack, I don't think it's gonna last very long. I think it'll rip after a few more kind of shoving the sleeping bag in the stuff sack. The tent bag that you like put the tent back in is also pretty cheaply made, so that may fall apart. But honestly, everything else probably should last you a while. I wouldn't say I was thoroughly impressed by anything, but the tent actually was pretty nice. For 25 bucks, and the air mattress, I was glad that it didn't lose air, so that's good. A lot of times those air mattresses, they're gonna lose air eventually. One thing that'll help that with camping is just to clear out the rocks and everything that are underneath the tent. This video wasn't really a camping tips video, though I have those videos on my channel if you want to check them out, and maybe I'll do more in the future. And then the only other thing I wanted to mention is pick up all your trash. If you're new to this, which if you're following this guide, you probably are. But so basically, we don't want to destroy the earth. There's a lot of people that don't like vehicular camping or off-roading. There's a lot of people out there that are trying to get trails kind of closed. I don't really know why, but
Well, I know a little bit why, and it's because there's a lot of people that have no respect for nature or the planet. They'll go out and camp and leave their beer cans, shoot up their bottles, do all that kind of stuff, and just don't do that. So at a very minimum, bring a bag and pack out all the trash that you create. So don't leave any of your trash behind. It's always good to go one step further. What I always do is I pick up more trash. I don't really go to spots that are that trash because a lot of times I go a little more off the beaten path, but I would just try to pick up more trash than you even created. If you have a trash bag, try and fill it up if you have the time. And then bring some wet wipes, or like that. I have those like little butt wipes really, and wash your hands afterwards because some people are pretty gross and there's some trash that's pretty gross. But just try to leave the spot better than you found it. And then if you're actually off-roading, then just stay on the trail as well. So don't go, just because you see a cool spot, don't go romping through the woods in your truck just to get there, because that's actually what gets trails closed. So stay on the trail, pick up your trash, and just have a good time. I hope this video helped. There's so many things you can bring for food. I bring hot dogs a lot just because they're easy and I like them. I never eat hot dogs at home or in my normal life, so like camping is kind of when I eat hot dogs, and I don't know. I like it. Sometimes I'll make burgers and other camp type food. You can get as crazy as you want. There's a lot of people out here that are like mobile chefs that are making like 5-course meals, especially in the Overland community. I'm not really into that, but if you are, by all means, nothing's stopping you. You have the time out there and no better place to cook up like a really nice meal. Again, for breakfast foods, super easy. A lot of times I'll just bring a smoothie, but warm foods like oatmeal, hot chocolate, coffee in the morning on a cold day just kind of help you get going. So it's always nice to make a warm breakfast. A lot of times I'll bring just some tortillas, which you can use for dinner and breakfast, and then bring some stuff for like breakfast burrito type things. It's probably my main breakfast jam that I take out. Other than that, I hope you realize that you can have a good time on a budget. I had a good time out here. I could use this stuff on multiple trips, but again, like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm gonna give all this away. So my Tacoma's getting worked on to the shop. It's gonna be done this week, hopefully, maybe early next week. And when it's done, I'm gonna have a meetup. I'm in Colorado. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier. So it's gonna be in the Denver area, kind of southwest edge of Denver is where the meetup's gonna be. I'll post more details on Instagram, Facebook, and like on my YouTube little channel community place where you can post pictures. So I'll post info on the meetup there. So meet up, come hang out, it'll be a good time, and then I'm gonna give away all of this stuff to the first person that says, hey, I could really use that stuff. You get it all, no questions asked. Always in my videos, I have links down in the video description below. Some of them are affiliate links, some of them aren't. I have a website, LLOD.us, where I sell holsters and other gear. I also have a page, LLOD.us/coupons, that will have the links to kind of all of my stuff that I like. In addition, a bunch of coupon codes that'll save you guys some money with some of the companies that I've partnered with. Good information is always in the video description below. I have an Instagram where I take decent photos, I think, and a Facebook group where I am involved with, commenting and posting pictures over there once in a while. Mostly it's YouTube here. I also have a Patreon if you're into that kind of thing, where people can help support people that are giving them free videos. And over there I do monthly live kind of hangouts with all my patrons and do a giveaway and other stuff like that. So if you're into any of that stuff, or if you're just into camping, outdoors, guns, survival, that kind of stuff, get subscribed to the channel. If you found this video helpful or informative or any of that kind of stuff, take 2 seconds, hit that thumbs up button. I always appreciate comments in the videos below. Comments down below is kind of what dictates the videos that I make on the channel. So I like feedback, I like questions, but also can be entirely unrelated to the video. Let me know what you want to see videos on in the future, and I'll try to do those. Again, I filmed this all on a cell phone, so sorry about the audio quality, especially here in the garage. It's probably echoey, and the video quality, but glad you stuck through to the end. Thanks so much, and take care.